Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, going to be a match between Flash and Bisu here on Circuit Breakers from 2016, the Sino-Korean Carnival. Bottom left, it's going to be our white Protoss player, Bisu. Top right, it is Flash. Alright, so you know both of these players. Cast a few games between these players before. Not as many as I thought I had. But, maybe I can rectify that by casting more. Anyway, this is from 2016, which is 6 years ago now? 7 years ago now? 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6? 6 years ago. It's good. Not at 7 yet. We're not that old. Honestly, though, part of me is like, man, the times, they're moving too fast for me. It's okay. I'm just going to take a deep breath, calm down, cast some StarCraft, see who comes out on top here. Bisu tends to crush everybody he ever plays in PvT, except for Flash. And then Flash wins, and he makes it look kind of easy, and everybody says, TVP is imbalanced, which is only true if Flash is playing the Terran, I think. Generally, anyway. I mean, there's a bajillion different, honestly, so many different TVPs played every day at the professional level, and it's not like Protoss wins all of them, but I guess if you talk to somebody like Artosis, you'll get under the impression that Protoss is impossible to beat with the Terran. But I don't know. The games that I've cast, it seems, I've seen some games where Protoss looks unstoppable, and some games where Terran looks really unstoppable. And it just kind of seems like whichever player is working the hardest is the one that comes out on top. Did he just oh my gosh, he just Nexus first against Flash. The cojones. The cojones today on Bisu to go Nexus first. It is a 4-player map. It is Circuit Breakers against Flash, who is going for a Rax first play. And he's got gas coming in, which indicates there's some factory stuff coming soon. Oh, and then he cross-spawn scouts. Bisu, you absolute ghost. You clairvoyant monster, you. He cross-spawn scouts here. Straight up, gets right on in, sees exactly everything that Flash is doing. Oh, sees the barracks up and goes, this might be a problem. This might be a problem for me, but I got my own gateway warping in now. I mean, got my gas warping in too. I'm a little bit behind, but this isn't too much, this isn't too much behind, is it? No, but look at this. Factory. 2-minute 45 factory coming in. SCV still has not scouted. This is a Nexus first play. This can be punished. We've seen it before, and by players much less excellent and much less skilled than Flash is. You show up, you throw down a bunker, you put Marines in the bunker, maybe you bring a siege tank over. You can definitely shut this thing down against a greedy Protoss if you scout it soon enough, and if you have the pieces in place to do it. Bam, here we go. So he knows that the Nexus first play. He does. He's like, all right, so you still don't have your cyber core. You have one gateway, another gateway coming in, your gas is done. Yes, that was a Nexus first play. So the Marines, I think, need to start walking across. I really think that needs to happen. This SCV not going to build a bunker. Intriguing stuff here. I don't know that Flash is necessarily going through all the steps to try to shut this thing down. I mean, sure, he's wandering Marines across, but they're getting distracted by this probe of Bisu's, which is honestly an MVP, buying a ton of time for this to happen. What is... this is great. This is so good. So good. Second base on the way from Flash, and sure, he's working on spider mines, but guess what? Dragoons are on the way, and, I mean, you're going to want a robotics facility sooner rather than later here, Bisu, because these spider mines are going to be a huge pain in your butt as soon as they start showing up. You don't have detection available, or at least a forge. Well, there's your robo. All right. So I think everything is fine for Bisu. I think Flash got there. Maybe he realized he didn't have enough time to punish it. Didn't have the wherewithal to do so. Didn't have the pieces in place. And then we're just, proxying a starport down to the south. He's like, all right, fine. I'm not going to mess with you this early. But I'm going to send a Vulture across, throw some spider mines down, force you to obviously get out detection as fast as you can. Dude, this Zealot is buying time too. Ooh, Zealot might get in here and see a complete lack. Oh, doesn't. So it doesn't come in and get a look at what's going on here. So it doesn't see there's no second factory. Doesn't see there's not a starport either. So that's interesting. This has got to be dropship, right? And then you just go ahead and drop some Vultures into the main base of Bisu. And then Bisu's like, panic. But also, where's my robotics facility, man? Or my observatory, sorry. Observatory up. Robo done. Third gateway warping in now from Bisu. And yeah, this has got to be control tower. Vulture is kind of cruising around. I mean, looking for proxies of their own, maybe. Well, of Bisu's own, maybe. Yeah, observatory coming in. And sure, might throw down some spider mines, but observers are not too far away. In fact, they're starting now. They don't take that long to build. And I think everything should be fine here for Bisu. So I like Bisu's opening. He went for a risky Nexus first play. He's getting away with it. And this is definitely a dropship in production. We can see in the production tab in the pipe 5x5. Indeed, alien reference ready to go. Armory under construction. Just for upgrades and whatnot. And here we go. This is what I'm talking about. We're going to have 4 Vultures inside your main base. Bisu, are you ready for that? I don't know. Observers are out. Dragoons are here. Singularity charge is almost done. Dealing with Vultures and Spider Mines is not going to be hard for Bisu. Assuming he can handle... Oh, that's a connection? That was a connection. Boo. Dragoons with detection should not take hits from Spider Mines. That is terrible. All right, here we go. Into the pipe. Engaged. I mean, I'm sure that dropships don't make race car sounds when they're flying, but whatevs. All right, we're just cruising on in here with our Vulture friends. La 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 la. And throw down spider mines in random spots. No probes, get out of there. Maybe don't go back to work, but Dragoons getting obliterated by those spider mines. Dude, Bisu, where's your control, man? These Vultures are having free reign at this point. It is 31 probes remaining after that carnage. More spider mines getting tossed down. Oh, Bisu, you're in trouble here, but it's Flash. He's an absolute monster. Monster for sure. Okay, so we're going to handle that guy, no problem. He dead. Okay, so a couple Dragoons down, sure. A couple probes down, sure. But, I mean, it's not like he got knocked all the way down to like 10 probes or anything. Still got a decent saturation here at the natural base. Trying to set up for a third base, it looks like, during all of this engagement. But he has to make more Dragoons to replace the ones that are lost here, and that delays his third base, and that's really good for Flash. That's what we like to see here. Siege tank, doing siege tanky things. Additional factories coming in, because what else is a Terran player going to do against Bisu and all Protoss players ever? You're going to go for tanks and Vultures, right? Also Goliaths to some level. Always some Goliaths if the game goes on long enough and you're worried about Arbiters, but also a million Goliaths if there's carriers in the future. And you got to watch out for that as always. You got to make sure you're scanning constantly, trying to see if the Protoss player's going for carriers or not. Because if you get caught with your pants down when carriers arrive, you're just going to have a really bad time. So Bisu's like, probably don't have a million tanks, right? Or maybe let's just trade out a little bit here. Let's trade out these Dragoons for all of these siege tanks. Taking some tank fire here. Zealot bombing on top of those tanks too, forcing a re-siege of a couple of them. And then, I don't know about this. I mean, you're not... Okay, so one tank dies. Yeah, but the Dragoons are falling fairly precipitously here, too. Oh, another tank down. Having to reposition another dead tank here, though. Dude, oh, then he's doing some fancy shuttle micro with his Dragoons. Are you kidding me? This is insanity. Final tank down, and the counterattack of Dragoons goes way better than I thought it would. Insane amounts of better than I thought it would here from Bisu. What an absolute killer boss this guy is. We knew that, but sometimes it's good to be reminded of exactly why he's the greatest Protoss player of all time. He's doing this to Flash, y'all. Directly in Flash's face. Okay, so Vultures are here to deal with Dragoons, which is not what they like to do. Spider Mines, no. Say the Dragoons. We'll just clear these out. It takes us a minute, but that's okay. Look at this. He's been probing up behind this. He's up 79 to 69 supply. I don't know how these two Vultures are protecting this entire base by themselves, but they are. We're going to go for another drop, though. Round 2. Drop ship a time on the watch that belongs to Flash here. And making a Goliath with Charon boost. Try to get rid... Yep, there it is. Completely rebuffs this shuttle. Boom. Yeah, so Vultures, Goliaths. Goliaths, in this case, not for Arbiters, but for shuttles. I don't know. And it's still 47 workers for Flash. He lost a few SCVs. He tank count, however, which we talk about all the time in TVP, did get reset. So incredibly... Man, that was so good. So tank count was like 5, right? Now it's down to 2. Anyway, doing more Vulture stuff. This group doesn't do anything. This group not getting a lot done either. And I would say that Bisu's probably ahead here. He's got a 3rd base rolling, which he needs to compete with a 2-basing Terran here, but until the 3rd base from Flash is up, he's not that scary. The 3rd base is what's really key for Terrans, and that's when they can start to afford, you know, 20, 25, 30 siege tanks with +3 attack, and then suddenly you're a very sad Protoss Panda and all your Dragoons are dead. As long as you engage them directly, which you probably shouldn't do. Anyway, while things are kind of chill here, quick plug just for my Patreon, just patreon.com/Falcon Paladin. You can also click the join button down below, become a member of the channel if you want to support me directly through YouTube. It's not, some people don't trust Patreon, they're mad at them for certain reasons, and I'm not going to get into that here, but if you prefer to support me directly through YouTube where you live here anyway, you can click join, and different membership levels, anything from like a couple bucks a month, and just up from there if you're interested. Oh, sniping that dropship entirely. There are vultures in that dropship. Arbiter Tribunal coming in now from Le Bisu. Le Bisu. Yeah, I love this, man. 4th base, maybe setting up for a 4th base now. Yes, Bisu knows you got to kind of go crazy with the expands after that 3rd base comes up. Still no 3rd base here. Ah, 3rd base here from Flash. Loving that. Yeah, Vultures, did they actually see there was a base coming up there? Or they just retreat when the Dragoons are firing on them? Yeah, I don't know why you're not sitting here. I mean, I feel like that'd do a better job blocking Vultures from getting in, but whatever. Observer coming in for the scout. I don't know what information you're trying to see at this point. Obviously, Flash is going for 1 million tanks and Vultures and stuff and getting upgrades for them. I don't know, like maybe scouting for future recalls. Maybe stasis on the way for those Arbiters, which are in production. Observer snipe Goliath anti-air is really, really good. Vulture count, fairly heavy. Really good against these Zealots. Obviously, you want them for the Zealot count that Bisu's rolling for here, too. Alright, Dragoon's trying to clear out some of these spider mines. Ah! Vultures, a ton of Vultures getting into the 3rd base of Bisu. Cannon says no. And actually backing out here. Interesting. Flash is a little bit cautious at that 3rd base. Spider mines, pretty scary stuff. Observer needs to come down this way, though. It's 163 to 126 supply. Bisu's been macroing hard. His 4th base is now warped in. He's throwing down some defensive cannons there, too. I feel like spider mines are connecting a little bit on this group, but no. They do not seem to be connecting at all, which is exactly how it should be for a good Protoss player who has the range upgrade and an observer to help them. Spider-Man should not be a threat. EMP getting researched. Any recall on the way here? We do, I mean, recalls are good. Definitely want some good recall shenanigans if you're a Protoss playing against Flash. Flashy Flash. Ooh, 4th base from Flash is done too, though. He's doing all right here economically. He's still down about 50 supply, which is not great if you're trying to deal with Bisu. If you're down 50 supply against Bisu, you better hope Bisu just walks into every one of your tanks sieged in a line and just dies. You better hope he's not trying to attack at different locations. Is that a Nexus? No, just trying to set up another base here. Remember what I said about expanding a lot? Because Flash is doing that here too. The expansions are coming hot and heavy. Missile turrets on the way, just, you know, in case Arbiters show up or maybe Observers. And kill some of those. +1 attack is done for the Dragoons and Zealots. Mech upgrades are at +2 with no armor attack either. So we're working on armor attack here for the Terran. Protoss is interested in pretty much attack only. And here comes Le Bisu. He's going to try to get in here. I don't know about going across this bridge. Seems like death to everything, but good stasis. Catches a couple siege tanks there and a science vessel who does have the EMP ability available. Wow, I don't know about this one, but he's going to bring it in anyway. The Zealots on front. Oh, shuttle dies, but the Zealot bombs are real here too. Big time attack. Is this actually enough from Bisu to do this? The Zealot count is still fairly big. The Vulture's not doing their job as early as they needed to here. Stasis not exactly a huge point, but it's just overwhelming Protoss forces here. And I wonder how much of this traces back to that early Dragoon attack that killed every one of Flash's tanks. And is that it? Is the 3rd base dead for Flash? Is the 4th base dead for Flash? It's looking at it, and yes, Flash taps out. 14 minutes and 55 seconds. Bisu, you absolute monster. He's still in here killing stuff, and there we go. Now he leaves the game. The Flash versus Bisu final observer is hanging out, apparently, and there we go. We get out of there, too. So GG Bisu. I don't know how many times he's defeated Flash on this channel. I don't feel like it's been very many. Flash just usually looks incredibly good here, but this is 2016. This is a little bit past the primes of both of these players, which is fine. It's totally fine. But disgustingly good play here from Bisu. And I gotta say, it's going to come down to two things. One, the Dragoons showing up, jumping on those tanks with a sick shuttle micro, dropping Zealots on the tanks, dropping Dragoons on the tanks, tanks trying to reposition and get in position, get in places where they're not getting hit, and then the shuttle shows up and drops a Zealot right on them, and it's like, curses, foiled again. And that happened. That reset the tank count to 0, and then just dealing with this Vulture drop fairly well, right? I mean, Bisu ended up losing, I want to say, 6 or 7 probes and maybe 3 or 4 Dragoons. But other than that, it really didn't set him back that much. He was still able to get a 3rd base up, get a 4th base up, and then just start pumping, right? Multiple gateways firing all at once here. Production tab is 4 Dragoons and 3 Zealots at a time. And then just bring some stasis tech with you, right? No need for recall, just stasis techs. And then your Zealots have the +1 attack. And you just kind of go from there. Just kind of A move from there. Come up through this direction, stasis the guys immediately on this side of the bridge, get on top of them, and then just use this very wide ramp to get down and jump on top of this 3rd base for Flash. Jump on everything. Make them wish they'd never been born. And that's it. I mean, he made that look easy in ways that Flash has made it look easy against Bisu before. Sometimes that's how it is in StarCraft. Sometimes a couple early decisions, early skill on display, combined with just your ability to macro super well and get up the tech that you want, which is obviously the stasis was important there. The cloak was important. Bisu's able to make it look like, you know, this was no big deal. I just beat Flash like this all the time, you know? Don't you know? All right, so that was great. I mean, that was an impressive, sick display from Bisu. Protoss fans can go to sleep happy tonight. 63,000 points for Flash and a full 92,000 points from Bisu. Insane. He produced about, what, 80 less than Flash did, and he killed 100 more units. That's some incredible cost efficiency in a PvT. That's crazy. When that's your number, you better win every single time. And then outspent the Terran as well here by about 5,000 resources. And that helps. In just a 15-minute game, that's a big number. So nicely done by Bisu. Well, you know, well attempted there by Flash, but sometimes it just is not your day. Sometimes you just got to move on. MoveOn.org to your next game. This, again, was part of a finals between these two players. I honestly can't remember. Man. I'm trying to remember here. I don't know if I actually remember if I cast the other games from this finals or not, from this 2016 Sino-Korean Festival. But in the folder, there's only this one. So I'm going to look into it. I'm going to look into seeing if I have more Flash versus Bisu I can pull up. But anyway, you clicked on this for Flash versus Bisu, and I hope you're happy. So that is going to be it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.